but the catch is that you can only get there by boat. There is no bridge, there is no official ferry service.
I'm pushing this thing.
And there is no way to insure it because a hurricane's probably going to wipe anything out that gets put out there.
Mona, are you ready? Are you ready for adventure?
Welcome back to Candy Adventures. I'm Chris.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And today we're here to stand on some business. We are getting ready to show you what I think, not what I think, factual statement. We are here to show you what is the best piece of property on the whole planet Earth for someone to purchase. We are going to look at an island property, and it's going to take 3 modes of transportation. We had to drive here in the world's most American truck, the Honda Ridgeline.
The truck, not truck.
Then we have to hop in our little aluminum boat. Then we have to use these bicycles to go explore some property. So come on as we're in South Texas as we go explore what might be the most perfect property that we might actually purchase. This is not just clickbait. I think we might actually purchase this property.
And it is not really expensive.
Well within our actual budget.
Yeah, so let's go.
So we're heading out here to the intercoastal waterway. As you can see, there's a big barge behind us back there carrying sand to get to a private island that was formerly a World War II training base where there is still old remnants of runways on this property.
It takes almost an hour to get over there depending on the part you're supposed to reach. And there's a lot of shallow areas in between where we are now and the island, so fingers crossed we can avoid some of those.
We're very excited. We've been trying to put this together for probably 3 or 4 months now. It's a property that is not easy to find a seller that is interested in selling to you. You have to kind of call a lot of people, kind of old school, kind of knock and talk, kind of figuring out how to buy this property. But we are very excited about it.
I've had to call somebody to call somebody to call somebody to even get information about this. So it's a lot of work in the background just to get more information about it in general. And then the stars have to align with not only the weather above, but the water below in order to make the crossing.
The island itself is a barrier island that on one side is the bay and on the other side is the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America. I'm not really sure. We're in a transitional period right now on that. I'm not really sure, but you have open ocean on one side and the protected bay on the other. And when you buy the property, we're looking at an acre, you have access to the whole, something like 5,000 acres of island that you have access to when you buy 1 acre. So we're looking at buying an acre, and then you can ATV or ride your Jeep around or whatever other vehicle you can get to the island. But the catch is that you can only get there by boat. There is no bridge, there is no official ferry service, and there is no way to insure it because a hurricane's probably going to wipe anything out that gets put out there. I don't understand, just buoys everywhere. Yeah. So we're following our little map software here and trying to figure out when to be in the channels. You probably can't tell, but it's foggy out there and we can't see the island we're going to.
Nope, it's just off. It's off in the video game fog distance. But I think we're okay. I think we're in the main shipping channel now. The one thing I know is there is no one else out here. We're the only boat. I love this already.
It's always nerve-wracking boating in a new place.
The hard part with boating in unfamiliar areas is you learn the hard way where the shallow spots are, so that you kind of have to go slow or else you're really risking it. Whoa, look at all the birds. Is that hard or sinky?
It's mud.
Ah.
Our boat doesn't have a lot of cleats, but these pipes kind of work like a sideways cleat. All right.
And that's pinned into the boat, so it's not coming out anyway.
Should be good.
Alrighty.
Anchor in the front, telephone pole in the back. Let's get the bikes out and explore this island.
How's the water temperature?
It is chilly. It's a nice warm day. It's in the 70s, but the water's a little chilly. It's also really clear. We're used to dealing with e-bikes. It's so nice working with these super lightweight
Normal bikes?
analog bikes, yeah. So if you can see behind us, there's other cabins out here. And this is kind of gives you an idea of what we would like to build, except something much, 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 much smaller.
And cheaper.
When you buy property out here, you basically buy a percentage share into the entire 5,000 acres. So once you buy your 1 acre, you can put up something anywhere you want. So what we're gonna do is ride these bikes around and see if there's a cool spot on this island, because you can literally pick anywhere that someone else isn't. And it's not part of a ranch system. And you could explore, I think it's 17 miles of beach line, but only be buying 1 acre, but it gives you access to all this land. So that's so cool. Like, there's nobody else around here. That's so cool.
Reasons why other people might not be around here. 1, it's only accessible by boat, unless you also have a plane and can land it on an airstrip. So that's cutting down the people that would come out here. And 2, if you do decide to build out here, there are not any utilities. So you have to be comfortable with having limited access and no utilities unless you install solar or basically have an off-grid setup.
And none of it is insurable.
Yeah, which probably just takes out the rest of people that thought about it. Now the boat ride was actually shorter than we anticipated, and that's probably because the water conditions and the weather are really, really great today. So that gives us just a little bit more time to explore, since we're only here for a few hours before we have to go back and then go to work tomorrow.
And we did call with the person selling the land, so we do have permission to be here. So before anybody says we're trespassing, we do have permission to be here by one of the landowners here. And it does look like there's a couple people on the island, but I've only seen one scanning it with binoculars since we've been here. Most of it is nobody's here. It's the off season, but it does give us a really cool way to look at how other people have built stuff. And you can see that they've brought their cars over. It's really cool because you can buy an old junker car that doesn't have a title, and because you get a barge to bring it over here, then you have an island car, or in our situation, you rent bicycles.
So last video we mentioned we were in the land of no restrictions. What I would like to point out is that we are in the land of no restrictions. That applies to this island as well. So you can drive anywhere. There aren't restrictions as far as your building or anything. So that means you can get inventive and you can ride side-by-sides and ATVs and dirt bikes or whatever.
This land hunt's getting kinda dangerous. Feels like it's a load done, yeah. My, it's turning like a cloud of dust. Our heart always wants to run. Oh. If you want a cowboy on a beach bike, riding off into the sunset. If that's the kind of love you wait for, hold on tight, girl, it's the best one yet. Yes, it's the best one yet.
So what is really cool about this part of this island is that, as Chris said earlier, there are old World War II airstrips here, but it makes it super convenient to traverse a large portion of this from the bay side to the beach. So that's what we're on right now, and in the distance you can see cactus, grass, cows, and people's off-grid cabins.
So when we said there wasn't any restrictions on this island, there was one, actually. The person that we talked to said there was one restriction, and is that your dogs can't chase the cows. And I said, cows? And right here staring us down is the cows.
I thought they would be kind of out farther away, and nope.
I hope they're friendly boys.
Oh boy. Hi.
They're very healthy looking cows. Very pretty, very shiny and muscular.
They're not entirely sure what to do with bicycles, maybe?
This is such an unusual experience, seeing these big, beautiful cows. I don't know what breed they are, but these big, beautiful cows on an island covered in cactus, riding on a paved road on a barrier island in South Texas that was built by the military for World War II for landing planes and practicing bombing. Like, it's all very, very surreal place.
So we've asked how many people are out here, how often do they come out, and it just depends on the individual person. So we've heard that some people will build a really nice cabin and they only come out once a year, or twice a year, or not for a few years. So even if there are a lot of structures here, it doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot of people.
Some of these could be abandoned for decades and decades and decades.
Yep.
So they brought a camper over here. That's
Oh, there's
cool.
a bunch of campers. We talked about this and we were like, I don't know if there's a barge big enough to take the camper over here, but apparently there is.
Yeah, it's all these big shipping containers and vehicles. There must be a barge. We just have to figure out how to get a hold of somebody about how much that costs and how much weight it can take or length.
We've heard it's rather expensive for the barge service because it's basically just for you. So when you do get it, you better load that thing up to capacity to get your money's worth.
So there's a water well right
Oh
there.
yeah,
So we heard that the water well depth out here was only like,
3 feet.
yeah, so you could hand dig a well or pay a service. But we've been very excited to try to knock our own well into the ground and just have like a pump spigot, like an old school pitcher pump. I would never think that on this barrier island out here, that 3 feet under the sand on this narrow strip of barrier island, that there would be fresh water. So that's, to me, that's also fascinating.
Ooh. Oh no, keep going. Okay, it got sinky.
Someday, maybe you could have your way. Right now might finally be the time. Speck of sand in the Gulf, I think it'd change your mind. Texas shores, oh, oh. If you want a cowboy on a beach bike, riding off into the sunset. If that's the kind of love you wait for, hold on tight, girl, it's the best one yet. Yes, it's the best one yet. It's the best one yet.
But as far as the eye can see right now, there is no one here. In fact, we're probably outnumbered by cows by a large sum. And there's only a couple sets of tire tracks down here anyway. Riding in the beach really makes me feel like I'm in my element. But I'm kind of working up a sweat and getting cramps because it's a little bit hotter than we expected.
What? Hey, no worries. Thanks to today's sponsor,
Element.
This feels very Wayne's World right now.
Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
Element is an electrolyte drink that comes in a can or powder mix. No sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no fillers. And it's not just for athletes.
Whether you're skiing behind a truck camper, sprinting after iguanas in the desert, fishing in the hot summer sun, or just working out in your local park, you're losing electrolytes when you sweat.
So Element can help you replenish it with 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Right now, Element is offering our viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try 8 of their flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/candy. It's only available through our link. It's drinkLMNT.com/candy, CANDE. Or click the link in the description below.
It's actually really good.
It's so cool. You could come down here and fish. You could come down here and launch a boat in the surf if you wanted to. We did a little water skiing behind our truck camper. And it would be a lot easier with a four-wheeler or a UTV or a key truck. And all my head can think of is water skiing the Gulf Coast behind a four-wheeler over here on a private beach, and there's nobody in the way. You wouldn't have to wait for other people to leave or for it to, make sure it was legal in that section of the beach. Very, very cool.
That's a kind of love you wait for. Hold on tight, girl, it's the best one yet.
Solo female twirl. Yeah. Oh. Go, go, go. I'm pushing this thing. These little narrow tires aren't made for this. We're crossing back to the bay side. And definitely need a four-wheeler or a truck or just something with bigger tires.
So this is a pretty good representation of kind of what we want to do. You see, this house is kind of by itself, and it's up on piers, and they've just picked an area around it to mow down and kind of maintain, and there's nobody else around it.
And we definitely, if we were going to put something out here, we do want it elevated, not sitting on the ground, just so you can try to prevent your stuff from getting flooded in a storm.
And that walk to the beach would be the same as from a fancy hotel.
Yeah.
Except you can hop on your ATV and go down to the beach and surf fish and do whatever and not follow some fancy hotel rules.
So part of this is deciding, do we even like this in general? Do we like boating to an island versus buying something obviously you could drive to? But second is, okay, if you do like this route in this area, where would you build? And you pretty much have 5,000 acres to choose from. Of course, most of that's going to be swampy, so it's actually not all of that, but...
All right, I think we're going to go look for the old World War II airstrip, which is still intact, and it actually makes a triangle. And I measure the triangle on Google Maps, and it's almost exactly 2 miles, just a hair over the total distance of the triangle. It's like, that's so cool. You got a 2-mile running loop out here. So we're going to go find that and have some lunch while we're out here, because it's pretty exhausting pedaling these through the sand. So we're going to go find somewhere to have some lunch.
Man, that had shingles and everything on it. Wow. So smooth.
This is wild. An old World War II airstrip. It looks like there's still a windsock up. I think some of these people have planes and fly in here. Yeah, they got plumbing going out the back.
Oh, big pile of cow poop. Now there's absolutely nothing that says that you can't live out here full time. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's only one person, but they do live out here full time and they have no permanent address on mainland. Most people obviously use it for recreation, weekend getaway kind of thing. But if you wanted to stay for 3-4 weeks or however long, you can. It's your structure. You get to access it whenever and for however long you'd like.
And it can be passed down.
Yeah.
Just like a regular piece of property. You could pass it down to kids or family. You could sell it if you wanted to.
And if you put a structure on it, you can sell it for whatever price. So just like a normal house, you can sell the 1 acre deeded plus the structure you put on it. So if you put a shed or whatever, you can sell it for $30,000 or $40,000 or however much money you think it's worth. Now, how often are you going to find a buyer? I have no idea.
Very niche. You gotta find, like us, very niche individuals that want to get away from people, don't mind a little effort.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is get a cargo trailer. I have thought about find an enclosed trailer. That way it's easy to put onto a barge, and then it's also easy to remove from a barge because it's on wheels, and you could take it anywhere on the island you wanted and then set it up. So we thought about a cargo trailer or a small camper. Lot of, if you have some ideas about what would you put out? Because you got to remember, you got to get it on a barge and then get it out here, and then it's just us as the manpower. So kind of fun playing around with all those ideas about how you would do this.
Can we store something on it long term as like a home base? No, but it's a fun recreational property.
And it'll be fun because we can film some videos out here, Swiss Family Robinson it, and then we can go adventure some and then kind of go back and forth was our idea.
Yeah. So far, I feel like this is the best, more accessible options so far.
That's the least accessible, but
Well,
most
yeah.
accessible monetarily for
Yeah.
us.
All right, that was a pretty successful trip. We learned a lot. We bumped into some people who happened to be out here and we asked them a ton of questions. We brought some lunch, but we got to talking to these other people and we kind of need to get back on the water, and the mosquitoes have come out.
Because the sun tucked away behind the clouds.
It is February and they are still out and we weren't prepared for that. So we're gonna have our picnic on the boat. So we're gonna go ahead and load everything up in the boat and get everything back and have our little picnic on the boat before we head back across the water to the mainland.
This land hunt's getting kinda dangerous. Feels like it's a load done, yeah. My, it's turning like a cloud of dust. Our heart always wants to run. Oh, if you want a cowboy on a beach bike, riding off into the sunset. If that's the kind of love you wait for, hold on tight, girl, it's the best one yet. Yes, it's the best one yet. It's the best one yet. Someday, maybe you could have your...
So we're kind of short on time and we're kind of going with the military theme here. We are going to be having some MREs. They were easy to pack. They're technically hot brown. Well, they're fixing to be hot brown. And because we have the World War II history out here, we are going to fire up some of these bad mama jammas. This one happens to be the jalapeno beef patty. And after we've been riding around with our bicycle baskets all day long, how fitting we have our Reese's Pieces from E.T. Isn't that, that's fantastic. And to warm it up so it's hot brown and not just brown, we're going to be using our little heater here.
And then it goes, right? That's it?
And then it should be active. Some of these aren't activated. It says do not overfill, but you won't tell me what to do, so... It's starting to go a little bit. We'll fold the top of it over and lean it up right here. Wedge it in there at a little bit of an angle and let that bad boy heat up. This allows us to continue making some headway back while our meal is heating up. And then we can have all the little snacks. We have tortillas. We have some baked snack crackers. We have marble pound cake.
Oh.
I'm gonna start off with the baked snack crackers. That's easy to eat on the move. Kind of like our Honda Ridgeline truck, not truck. These are baked snack crackers, not Cheez-Its.
Oh, same. Those look very identical to Cheez-Its. I guess pros and cons of whatever this option is. Huge pro. It's like a giant playground, and you can build a tree house or whatever kind of structure you'd like on the beach in the bay. And it's like ultimate escapism.
And then price. We're talking about 4 figures. The land we're talking about is 4 figures.
That's attainable for us people at this level.
That's very realistic. The other properties we were looking at, 4 figures was the down payment.
Yeah,
and then be locked in for 30 years.
Yeah.
The crazy interest rates that are going on right now. So far, I think this one's in the lead. Very excited about it.
Looks so good.
We got authentic Mexican food down here in South Texas. %, authentic. Steam still rolling out of the bag right there. That is some authentic Mexican food out here in South Texas.
Delicioso.
We're going to be thinking about this a while. We're going to go back. We have about 40 minutes in the boat.
Yeah.
With the fog, I'm not sure. We'll probably go pretty slow and that'll be pretty boring for you guys. The drone won't show anything. So we're going to enjoy our snacks and our food. And coming up, we have some very exciting videos because we're going to be mixing it up and getting back into a little bit of travel. We have a whole series planned here.
Yeah, we have a trip planned and it will not be in Texas.
Nope. So thank you guys for sticking around. We're very excited about this property and I think you might be seeing this property some more, and we'll see you guys next video.
Thank you for watching, and thank you to Element for sponsoring this.
Go get some Element if you want to.
riding off into the sunset. If that's the kind of love you wait for, hold on tight, girl, it's the best one yet. Yes, it's the best one yet. It's the best one yet. Someday, maybe you could have your way. Right now might finally be the time. Speck of sand in the Gulf, I think it change your mind. Texas shores.